Rick. Young Ron Howard.
Yes.
Should Kevin Durant want to play in San Antonio?
No, he shouldn't. He should be KD should want to go wherever KD's going to be happiest, and I don't know where that is because I feel like he's already been in a couple of places where happiness should have been within reach. That said, no, because with the time that he has left and his capabilities, I would expect him to go someplace where he can still be a meaningful piece of a title contender. I assume that that's what he would be interested in. San Antonio is not that. They have a lot of potential, but they're not that close, particularly when I look at all the competition in the West. So with all that, no, whether it's New York, it's a culture, it's where he can contribute, it's where he could be a difference maker. Maybe not a lock as a title contender. I mean, obviously, OKC is an example. But if he could go to Miami and make them meaningful, if he could go to Milwaukee and make them better than they are, if he could go to New York and put them over the top, I think there has to be a little bit at stake for him being a difference maker as opposed to just going along for the ride, because he's already been accused of doing that in Golden State. So even if it's not winning a title, if it's being a difference maker and taking a team to a level that they hadn't previously gotten to, I think would do a lot more for KD than simply joining a championship contender.
Yeah, and I think the same way. It depends on the fit. What's the fit, right? He's at a stage in his career, I'm assuming, I'm not speaking for you, Kevin, but I'm assuming that he wants to win another championship. So
he's not going to speak for KD. KD, let's be clear.
Let's be clear. I didn't,
Yeah.
I'm working with you, brother. That a Milwaukee would be an option because now you may be able to retain Giannis in this situation if they got the assets to go get him in Philly. And Dame Lillard will come back in a year or so or whatever the case is, and you can hold that thing together. We talked about Miami. OKC, if they lose the final, you now go there and kicks them up a notch or two. That's the type of spot I think he should be looking for. One of those, they right there, opposed to what happened in Golden State, where Golden State already won. You see what I'm saying? And then people going to say, well, he's repeating
don't
the
go to
same
Boston.
thing.
Don't go to Boston.
Don't go to Boston. Why would he do that?
I'm saying don't go to Boston because that would be a replicant
because they already won. They won without you.
Exactly.
So you need to find somewhere, that's like that, that's right there. And I don't think San Antonio is right there.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. I think he needs to go to a place to where, one, he's on a contender because he doesn't have a lot of great years left. I mean, he's up there in age, I believe, what is he, 37?
I was going to say 36, 37.
He's around there, so he probably got, KD. The thing is, he got to go to a team where...
36.
He's 36. Well, he got to go to a team if he wants to win and play with a player that's better than him.
So could he do Denver? Could Denver work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah,
Even though they won 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That was 3 years ago.
They're a different team.
And it's
You know
a
what I'm
different team
saying?
and a different coach.
Two second round outs.
But it's a different coach, too. Not the same coach.
That may be the move, Key. Somewhere like Denver, Milwaukee, because there's not a lot of players better than KD.
I like Denver a lot.
Like if you can give him Michael Porter Jr. some draft picks or something, if they can come up, muster up something, and if a team want to trade within the West. But there's outside of those two, maybe Dallas, he can help. I just think it has to be a slim number of teams. But San Antonio's not quite ready to win it all right now. They're probably a few years away with Wemby developing, getting stronger, coming to his own. Not yet. And I just think that Phoenix is probably going to move him out east.
For sure.
And if I look at the teams out east, Indiana, if they don't win, they may have some pieces they can move.
But why would they want to move? At this stage of his career, why do you care where you go? You're rebuilding your entire organization. Y'all not going to be ready to win if you're Phoenix right now anyway. So why do I care? I want to get the best package.
You want to get young assets because you're going to be probably looking to rebuild if you're Phoenix.
That's what I'm saying, the best package. So I don't care if you go west, east, south. I don't care where you go.
That's true.
There is something about having him, if he went to Denver and he goes win a
Luka was traded in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
And that's Luka.
That was the exception rather than the rule, I would say.
I don't hate San Antonio because they're a high-level organization, and he's had success in that type of a situation. I also don't think he should care about what people say about where he's going. Who cares? Yeah. I wouldn't have cared about him, what people said about him going to Golden State.
And I would have stayed my tail right in Golden State.
I would have stayed in Golden State also. But who cares what people say about where KD is going?
Clearly, he cares.
I don't know. Maybe at this point, I don't think he should. Like they're going to say something no matter what. Like they had something to say about Phoenix, they're going to say something no matter where he goes. If he goes to Denver, they're going to say the same thing. Oh, he went and played with Jokic and he couldn't win. Who gives a damn? Yeah. If you're going to a place to compete for a championship with KD is still a very high-level player in this league who has gas in the tank, what difference does it make where you go and what people have to say about it?
Yeah. And why would you care if you get smoke from KD either? Like, why would you care?
I just don't feel like having to check nobody in person. That's why. I want peace.
Because you don't have a problem with getting smoke from anybody.
I just don't want
But KD, you seem to be tiptoeing around.
I come with peace, brother. That's all. I just come with peace.
Yes.
That's all.
Rick is instigating.
No, Rick ain't instigating. No, Rick is
I'm just curious. I have questions.
I just come with peace.
Okay.
That's all. I don't want no issues. I love KD as a player. I like him. He's phenomenal. I don't want no problems with anybody. I just want to do my job. That's it.
Oh. Does KD have enough left in the tank for another title run?
Yeah, definitely has enough in the tank for a title run. I mean, but like I said earlier, he just can't be your best player on a team making a title run. And I said early in the year that he would make a lot of sense for OKC if OKC doesn't win it. It makes sense for him to go to Milwaukee to pair with Giannis. Maybe Orlando, because I think the East is wide open right now with Tatum out, maybe for most of the year. I think Orlando could be a sleeper team that I would really look into because they got some young guys that can play, or maybe Detroit.
And they need scoring.
And they need scoring more than anything. So,
but even if you're sending him down to Orlando with a young team, though, he becomes automatically the father.
Yeah, I don't know. Right? I don't know about that. I think Banchero has established himself as the guy.
Franz Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's established himself as the guy.
So you Franz Wagner before KD?
No, I'm Paolo Banchero before KD.
Yeah.
KD will be the second best player on most nights.
You could move Wagner for KD.
You think that KD in an Orlando young team would accept I don't want to say backup role, but a second fiddle in Orlando with a young team opposed to a Denver type with a joker that you know.
I mean, I think Denver is probably the best case scenario. Like if he's
pretty good.
If you're putting KD with Jokic
and
Murray, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
I think as a fit and who KD is, it would work well with his personality and all that. But I also think that KD just wants to hoop. I don't think he wants to be the face of the organization, like egotistically or any of that stuff. If he went to Orlando, I don't know that would matter.
But automatically, based on his resume, he gets pushed into that role regardless if he wants to do it or not. Just automatically. Because of who he is, because what he's given the game of basketball, people gonna automatically want to say he's the guy.
Do you think that would be the case?
But they wouldn't do that in Denver because they got a guy that has won a championship in 3 MVPs.
I mean, he's the best player in the league.
The best player in the league, so to speak. So they wouldn't do that in Denver.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the idea.
But do you think that would happen in Orlando, though?
No, I think when you get to a certain age, to where KD is at, he's looking for somebody, a young guy, to take pressure off of him. He's carried so many franchises for so many years. I mean, he'll be 37 for the next season. As I got older, I wanted to play with some younger guys while I went to Brooklyn and Washington to have some young guys, help carry you. So, like,
look at him.
Why are you looking like that, Keith?
I'm not looking at you, man. I don't want to look at you when you start talking about Brooklyn and Washington and the Clippers.
He called bank, remember?
I called game.
Yeah.
You called game? I know
Carolina Key over
Brooklyn
here.
Paul.
I was through by the end. My mind wasn't even in the game. I was on to something else.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.